Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. This is episode 355 of Daily Global Insights, and I am joined by my co-host Sridhar Tichalaji. Sridharji, Namaskar and welcome to P Guru's channel.
Namaskar. Good morning to everybody on this wonderful Monday morning.
Sridharji, a lot of things that we have to discuss today, and we're going to do our best to do it within 10 minutes. So let's start straight with what did Modi accomplish at the SCO, sir? Your thoughts?
Well, I think I've been seeing lots of press around whether why did he go, etc. So I just want to recap. What are the few things that Modi accomplished? First and foremost, India is part of the SCO. The reasons being its proximity to Central Asia. Central Asia is strategic to India for a range of reasons, including trade and other things. If you recall, in Afghanistan, when Afghanistan had problems, Indian diplomats were airlifted with support from couple of countries in the Central Asian region. So he honored his commitment. He went and demonstrated what India stands for on the second front. Third, Central Asian leaders have been quoted and encouraged to visit India. So he honored the Central Asian, he did not insult or he did not, put them to discomfort, because the next SCO summit is going to be held in New Delhi or somewhere in India. And they have chosen Varanasi as one of the cities to which they will encourage the SCO members to visit. Then the fourth objective is he demonstrated that basically that food security is important, and therefore he highlighted one of the areas, which is millets, to be. And he wanted to use the platform to meet three different categories of leaders. One is Vladimir Putin, whom you could meet one-on-one and discuss Ukraine. And second, he met with the Iranian leader, who has not been traveling outside. He met Mr. Raisi. Then, of course, he met with Uzbek leader, as a reciprocal gesture for personally inviting Modi to the meeting. So he did not go there to solve Chinese problems or Pakistani problem. He went there with a specific objective. He got back. Everybody knows that the India-China is a never-ending stalemate, and as well as Pakistan is concerned, it's never-ending. So in my view, when you put that in that bracket, I think he achieved what he wanted to achieve, and then he came out.
And President Biden tells that US will defend Taiwan if China attacks it. What is the new reason for making this statement, Sridharji?
Well, I'll wait till tomorrow morning. But today, in this morning, yesterday, his statement is that he will defend stoutly. This is the first time he has indicated that US forces will defend Taiwan in the event of an invasion. What has prompted him and what has driven him to make that statement? If you go back in time, he issued a similar statement. Few hours later, Antony Blinken came out and said, we still believe in strategic ambiguity and one China policy. So we just have to wait and see as to what prompted him to make this specific statement.
Well, Japan is preparing also. It thinks that it may be next. And it looks like Xi Jinping is meeting with his generals for a possible invasion of Taiwan. So we have to wait and see, like you said, sir, we will do that. Now, the United States drama is continuing to unfold on many fronts. Biden argues that inflation has not spiked, although on the street you can see that it has. Biden claims pandemic is over, having dished out billions. And there are no takers for illegals in Martha's Vineyard. Sir, explain this to me, sir. What are takers for Martha's Vineyard? Are they expecting like host families?
Well, they basically said that these guys are here, and would the Martha's Vineyard community provide accommodation and facilities? In New York, we host them in 5-star hotels. In Chicago, as well as in Philadelphia, as well as in Washington, D.C., they have been accommodated. In Texas, they have been given temporary shelters. Lo and behold, the home of the elite and rich and affluent Democrats, the Martha's Vineyard, nobody wants them. So this is the hypocrisy that people want to point out, which is namely, as long as this is not happening in my backyard, it's all good and fair if the illegals come in. I think that's the message that's coming out from Martha's Vineyard.
So what I'm hearing is that buses are dropping off people in front of the vice president's house, also in front of the president's house. Palo Alto, which is full of rich and famous people. So this is a point that the Republicans are making. As a result of that, looks like a criminal case is going to be filed against the Florida governor.
Yes, there are a whole bunch of lawyers representing illegal aliens. Okay, firstly, they're illegal aliens. Now, how these lawyers turn up and they're representing illegal aliens, and they've come and basically make a case against governor under the pretext, oh, these people, landed here and they have to be given accommodation and shelter and so on. On the contrary, they have been boarded on this plane with false promise, jobs, schools, and other things would be offered. And which person would make such an offer, which is to say, hey, you are illegal, but you're going to be given all this stuff in a different state? No, they basically said we have, you got to go to some other place where there's a lot of probably facilities or whatever it is, so that you can get the other states can get a taste of it. So that's the pretext. So these lawyers are now going to file. But I can tell you this much, the Republicans are well prepared to fight this because this whole process is illegal. It just makes you and me, entering the country with a passport as a U.S. citizen and going through, umpteen questions, whereas these guys just come in. And they are given all kinds of treatment. I don't know with what intent.
Sir, where is Madam Pelosi, sir? Looks like she's headed for Azerbaijan. And to get an idea of what's happening, let us take a quick look at this map that we have put together, sir. Please go ahead and explain what is happening there. What are all the colors, regions, and so on and so forth?
Well, I think we have covered Azerbaijan, especially there's a Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, late last year, when this conflict broke out. We said that this is a troublesome area. You can see from the specific map, the yellow part is the Azerbaijan region. You can see a part of it, what is called as the Nakovian region is in the Armenian part, which is Azerbaijan. And the brown area is supposed to be the Azerbaijan territory, but controlled by the Armenian military. Now, what has happened is this Nagorno-Karabakh, which is in that orange area, is where that population is dominated by ethnic Armenians. And so therefore the conflict is broken out because there is pressure from the Azerbaijan and these guys are trying to assert themselves. Now and then these things break out. Going back in time, almost there was a war until the truce was organized by Russia and other people, including United Nations. There's more than 30,000 people lost their lives. But unfortunately, there seems to be no resolution to this because of the hodgepodge nature of the demographics and the maps overlapping with each other. Now, the question props up as to why did Nancy Pelosi land in this place when we have a vice president who is supposed to be dealing with? Well, the same Nancy Pelosi landed in Taiwan. Lo and behold, Nancy Pelosi is not only Democrat, she went with a Democratic representative from California. I'm sure you know who that is.
Jackie Spear.
Exactly. Who is an American Armenian, and Nancy Pelosi's constituency has plenty of American Armenians. So what happens is that advocacy is the rule of the norm. So therefore, instead of trying to figure out a way, she lands there and basically says, we support Armenian aspirations, we support Taiwanese aspirations, clearly provoking the Azerbaijan at the wrong point.
So, Sridharji, thanks for that. And let's take a quick look at what is happening in the borders. And Kamala Harris is now here, now there. Where is exactly she hiding, sir?
She's at home. She's very happy. She has denied that there's any problem at the border. She has denied that there are no issues as is being pointed out. And when the reporters pointed to her, the reality is quite different. On an average, something close to 200,000 people every 2-3 months are trickling into the country. Some of them are apprehended. Some of them are making their way back in. When you mention these kinds of things to her, it doesn't gel or resonate with her. So she says, I'm not going to the border and I'm not going to deal with these issues because there are no issues.
So what do you call this? It's not even mismanagement, it's gross dereliction of duty.
I think right now we are going through a very tough phase in the United States, where any truth that is projected in active connivance with media is being refuted. So when you go on denying and defying what the truth is, and when you have media actively collaborating, there is no mechanism unless you have control in one form of government within the three branches. And especially here in the legislative branch, the Republicans don't have a majority in House or the Senate. So at least in the legislative branch, if you have one of the branches then you have a mechanism by which you can conduct investigations in a just manner and figure out what exactly is the truth. Right now, if you call any of the people, including Mr. Mayorkas, they either deny or they don't turn up. So net result is we have this chaos, which is why the Republican governors have taken law into their own hands because they are worse affected. And you have a vice president who was tasked with dealing with the border issue, and she's just basically in a benign, what I call as indifferent position.
And Turkey is going to be paying 25% of the natural gas it is going to purchase from Russia in rubles. Sir, how do the Russians pronounce ruble?
Ruble.
Ruble. Okay. Somebody asked this question and they were trying to lecture me that I was doing it wrong. And Germany has taken over Russia's Rosneft refinery. Now, this is tit for tat kind of thing going on. Russia closes the Nord Stream 1 gas pipeline, and now Germany has reacted. Where do you think this is going to stop? Last thing, sir.
The last, my view is that Russia is insisting that ruble is the de facto currency. Turkey says, I need gas, so I'll give it. Now, as far as where will this end, I firmly believe that at some stage, Russia will come to the table and there will be a settlement, some kind of a settlement between Europe and Russia, failing which the consequences are disastrous. But I do believe that eventually Russia will come to the table and there will be a resolution between Europe and Russia for the sake of both.
Thank you very much, Sridharji. That was a wonderful session. And we missed out on one thing, that is the markets. What's going to happen next week? Maybe one line, sir, or two lines about that, and then we'll wrap it.
Markets this week are, as I came into the session, they're tanking, or in other words, they are already, Dow is down 200 points. Rate hike is imminent. Okay. And second, there's earnings, and the numbers are not expected to be stellar. Housing sales, retail sales, none of them are going to be quite stellar. So the market is preparing itself for what I call a great bear run until such time we see some hope, which not this year, possibly early next year.
Thank you very much, Sridharji. And viewers, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you. Have a wonderful